Hello, good evening. I'm your host, Dr. Festus Osai. Welcome to the Medical Ultrasound Forum. It's a group of health professionals across the country. They are different all over the country. They're all in the business of ultrasound scan. They talk ultrasound scan, they learn ultrasound scan, they teach ultrasound scan. Of course, we practice ultrasound scan to make our practice a better one. And of course, to save life at a point in time. You can't practice alone. That is why you have to practice as a group, as a family. And by the special grace of God, we've been able to harness a lot of members across the country via our training workshop that are going across the country. When we will have some people that have the knowledge in ultrasound scan by virtue of their practice and interest, we put them as members of the group so that we can have more members that will be in business of ultrasound scan to make the practice a better one and a nice one indeed. So thank you very much. If you are not yet, if you are listening to me now, you're not yet part of the forum, don't worry, we're going to add you very soon. But when you are added in the group, it is strictly for ultrasound scan and nothing else. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Yes, today's presentation, something prompted me to make today's presentation. I had the case on the 6th of this month. I saw a woman that came in with torrential bleeding per vagina. I did a scan and I saw something. And I wanted to make a conclusion. I said, let me do something else. And of course, I saw something that surprised me. And I want you to see so that you also can learn to prevent making some certain errors or decisions that will cause problem in the near future. So let me show you that. So we're going to look, before I go on, I want to say a special thank you to all the groups. I have ultrasound groups. We have them all over the country. Some of them, over time, we'll start adding them to the Medical Ultrasound Group, which is a national hub. We have in Abuja, Anambra State, Lagos State, Rivers, Edo, Cross River State, Enugu, Ondo, Niger State, Nasarawa State, Kogi State, and all other hospital-based groups. What we do is that anywhere we conduct ultrasound training workshop, we create a group for them. So we use the group as a means of teaching them, following them up to make sure they get the skills and get it better. That's what we've been doing, and it's going to be quite interesting. You can see that someone sent a video today from Bayelsa State about a case he saw and he wanted a review. And of course, I'm going to talk about that later. It's a case of polycystic kidney in utero. Talk about prenatal diagnosis. If he had not been in a group, it would have been difficult for him to come out of that difficult situation at that point in time. That is why you need to be in a group, in a family, to improve your practice. Don't practice in isolation. Practice as a group. I want to appeal to all of you in the different groups. Please try and bring up your images, bring up your pictures, so that we can review them, we can learn from them. Don't practice alone. There are some groups that people don't even talk about. They don't even make comments. What if when they send images to them, they don't even make any comment? Please try so that others will learn from you. And of course, you make your practice better. I'll still be sending images to you for you to learn. If I see any new case, any update, I'll send to you so you learn better. And please don't forget to always go for updates to improve your skill as well. But if you're in a family, in a group like this, just be rest assured your practice will be better because you have cases to be reviewed and other things you need to do, make it better for you as well. Now, let's look at this so I don't waste the time. Talking about, the book, you already know about that. If you need a copy, just call me. Now, what are the cautions? Take before you make a diagnosis. There's a case I want to show you right now. A woman came in. This is a case woman I saw on the 6th of September 2022, not August. That she came in. She was bleeding per vagina, and there was a history of passage of clotted mass of blood. Then what they said, madam, she actually came for an evacuation because she was bleeding right when at presentation. I did a scan and I saw this. And there's the gestational sac. Looks as if it's collapsing. The wall is not, the cholesterol wall is not, some will say, I won't say it's good cholesterol reaction, it's faint in a way. Then you can see there's a bleeding point here, subchorionic hematoma. But one would have concluded that's a case of what? A non-viable pregnancy. If you want to say it's a blighted ovary, look at the diameter of the sac, look at other features per se. But looking at this as a global picture, you say it's not a viable pregnancy. Madam, just go and have an evacuation. I said, madam, no, let us do a transvaginal scan for you. And we did a transvaginal scan, just like the illustration here. This amplifies the view of what you're looking at, and this is what we saw. The same patient, that's gestational sac, and that is the fetal pole. And surprisingly, there was a cardiac pulsation as well. And we came out of it 6 weeks, 3 days, with an ED and everything done. And she was so surprised. She said, wow, this could be possible. I said, yes. If not for the transvaginal scan, one would have concluded as a case of what? A non-viable pregnancy. Mind you, she came and she was still bleeding per vagina. So you wouldn't have that time to say, okay, madam, let's come next week, come so time for us to check. Of course, the thing you wanted to do is to make sure you solve the problem right now. As we found this one to be nice, she was admitted. Of course, it was followed through, and over time, the bleeding stopped. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this. When you're scanning, there's some certain features you see. Don't conclude on time. If you have the means of looking further, please try and look further. You'll be surprised with it. And I want to encourage all of you, especially those of you that are into gynecological ultrasound, please, an early pregnancy ultrasound scan, get a transvaginal probe. Get a transvaginal probe, and of course, you'll be happy you did. If you want a probe, don't worry. If you do have a challenge with the probe, just call your manufacturers, call the whoever supplied the machine to you. But for those of you that are using Mindray, you can let me know. I will tell you how you can get a good one and get a good one as well. Now, I want to encourage you before I stop. Please, some of you have been calling me to come and tell you issues about your machine that you've already bought. There's little I can do when you bought your machines, but I can do much more before you buy your machines. I will encourage you to buy the machines that will have spare parts, a machine that will be able to maintain in case there's a problem. I have a lot of them that have machines, so big machines, today they cannot use the machine again. Now it becomes a liability. So buy a machine that will give you a good resolution, a machine that's rugged, and if there's a problem, of course, you can have spare parts to take care of the machine. Well, I'm your host, once again, Dr. Festus Osai. You can call me anytime, and we can have a nice time with you. Let me tell you one thing. The reason we do these training workshops across the country is to what? Stretching our practice, and of course, to save life. You too should be part of it. Thank you very much, and God bless.